Good evening to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of Thursday Night Live, live which means you can join us via the live chat if you want to join in the show just there. Comments and we'll try our best to include you. With myself tonight, we have CONRAD. CONRAD, have you had a good day today?
Yep, my cough is just about leaving me from COVID, so just getting there, just still tired all the time.
Oh, just tired. The Mad Mistake back with us once again. Have you had a good day, Terry?
I'm absolutely stuffed. Just had a Chinese takeaway, and absolutely bloated now. So yes, I'm very content.
All right, nice one. Down south, Jacob Kirkbride down in North London there. Jacob is with us. Have you had a good day, Jacob?
Decent day, mate. Just finished work and looking forward to tonight.
Nice one. And the return, the ladies will be happy. He's back on the channel. Couldn't make Sunday, but Michael Bowers is back. Michael, have you had a good day with the ladies?
The ladies, man. Some things never change. Yeah, I'm doing all right. The only thing that made you laugh in my 20s, I'm now in my 30s, which is very scary. But I'm doing all right. How are you tonight? Phil?
I'm fine. I've had a fairly busy day. Back to work again tonight, so it's getting ready for that. Just very quickly, want to give a shout out to people on the chat. Robert Foster there. Bristolian Mackham is in. Isaac Green, Mackham Talk. Ethan, all people on there. Our friend of the show, Thane SFC, with us as well. Don't forget, if you want to comment, we'll try our best to include you with that. Massive shout out to Hugo as well, a new member. We do have a new thing going now, which is you can join SAFC Fan TV as a member. Details, you just hit the join button on the home screen. It's $1.99 to do so. It will give you access to members content, which is going to be coming in the next few weeks. And also you have certain, you get a badge beside your name. If you check on there, you can see Hugo's on there with his little N for a newbie. As with Conrad Lee, you get your badge and you get access to some emojis as well. So if you look into that, and once again, it all goes to help grow the channel and is very much appreciated. Right then, so where we're going to start, we've got Hull City tomorrow. We're just over a week away from the new season, and everybody is still talking about the lack of transfer activity. I think we'll start with Michael. Michael, are you worried about the lack of players coming in?
Yes. Short answer, yes. Long answer, well, yeah. It's hard not to be concerned. We're over a week from the we haven't made many significant moves. I think obviously Pritchard, Evans, and Doyle. I mean, Doyle I think looks pretty good when I've watched him, but bear in mind it's only pre-season. We haven't seen the actual games yet. Pritchard on paper should be a really good signing for this level. Same thing, really, even though I know Evans, I think, apparently is a deeper player than Pritchard is. But it's difficult not to be concerned. I expressed concern mid-June that we hadn't signed any players because I wanted to get these guys bedded in and ingrained into the club early enough for them to me. And now it looks like in August we're going to have to get by with what we've got, which isn't the scenario we wanted. Now, the only thing I can think of that can justify that is we're looking for better caliber players in League One, and they just happen to not be available. Is that you're putting pressure on yourself later on to get those deals over the line. Now, it might have we're targeting better players and we signed them. They brought it on themselves effectively. So, yeah, it's very. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but it's very difficult not to be worried.
Thanks, Michael. People do say to us, we love the channel and don't change anything you do, which is why we've not changed Michael's internet problems. They are back.
You can still speak with his mouth.
With us also. Jacob, I mean, effectively, our team now going into the new season, and I know, you know, we've got another 7 days on this, is effectively weaker than it was at the end of last season. Do you agree?
I think you would, considering the fact that we've taken our top goal scorer out in Charlie White, but it depends how you see it. I think where you can properly judge, I would say, is the day before the season kicks off, and then you can evaluate the squad properly then and think, are we ready enough? And it is concerning the lack of transfer movement we've had over the past week or so. I can understand some of the fans' frustration, but I think if we go into that opening game and get 3 points, then for me, I think a lot of it will be forgotten about. But at the same time, we do need to get players. Oh, Michael's gone there. Hopefully we bring him back. Need to get players in key areas, because right now, the squad for me, it's just lacking in depth. Even the friendly the other night against Tranmere, we had players. I think Carl Winchester, he was even playing at right back at one stage, and that's been talked about going into the start of the season. That's something we want to avoid. Like Terry said before we came on air, we've got no fullbacks at the club at the moment. I mean, Denver Hume looks like he's going to be away with his contract expiring very soon. A new deal looks out of favour at the moment, but hopefully we can offer him a new one. But concerning times, but I still have faith that we'll have a few in before that Wigan game.
Right, fair dues. Just very quickly, I'll bring Michael back in there. On the chat, Thane says, very worrying. We are 1 week and 2 days away from the Wigan game, and we still don't have a right back or a left back. It's embarrassing. It is starting to get worrying now. Terry, how concerned are you?
Well, before we get started, I want to say welcome to everybody on the chat, and also Tyler Rowlandson's on the chat. I want to know, Tyler, are you happy with your squad with Charlton? Are you happy with Dobson as well? Let us know in the comments if you're still there. But yeah, it's worrying times. I mean, a lot of people seem to be happy with what's going on at the club. I look on Twitter, I look on social media, and there's a lot of people who are sort of like, well, he's getting the academy sorted out. He's getting all the framework sorted out. He's going to build up slowly throughout the season. But if we start off really badly because we haven't got the right squad at this moment in time, and players come in late and take a while to bed in, it's going to be like a rush to get back into the right position by mid-season. So I'm quite worried. I mean, is there any other team in the league out of all the leagues that don't have a right back or left back, or we're the only club in this situation? It's worrying times. Where is the preparation? It's like, how difficult is it to bring a right back in or a left back in to pay like 500 grand? The amount of money we've saved on wages of the 9 players that left. It's like, do we want to get promoted this season? I'm starting to now think about why we might fall lucky. We might just fall lucky. We might get a bunch of good kids coming through like Alex Ferguson did in the Premier League years ago. You might just fall lucky and they might all just click together well, might have a great season. That for me is the only saving grace.
Right, okay then. Conrad, what do you think? I mean, it's we had somebody replied to one of our comments to when we was on Sunday, saying that we'd all defended KLD, and he was quite angry about that, saying why are we defending him for not spending the cash? And we had said, is he being shrewd? And is he sussing it out and not wanting to show his hand and let everybody think he's got loads of money? But I mean, a week on, it is getting worrying. I think. Do you agree, Conrad, or are you still happy with it?
No, I'm worried with it. When I've actually sort of had, after my 2-month break, and I've actually had a look at the team, it does just look like there's glaring gaps all over it. Really, I mean, like Jacob said, we haven't replaced Wyke, who I'm not bothered that we got rid of him, but you still need someone in his place, really, of course. There, I mean, last year, who did we have at right back for most of the year? We had McLaughlin was an option. You could have put 09 in there. Powell was playing at right back.
We played 09 at right back most of the time, didn't we?
So unless they're going to suddenly throw him back into right back, which, I mean, I've got no problem with because I know he can do the job at right back, but it's like this is finally when we want him to be in midfield, and he seems to be in the pre-season games linking him with the others quite well. And then at left back, I mean, we never got a full season out of Hume out of the 3 that we've had in this league. Anyway, he always seems to have a little spell out of the team on there. And then we had McFadzean last year. He just less said about him, the better. Who did we have the year before? We loaned someone from, was it
De Bock, was
Swansea?
De Bock from Leeds.
Yeah, and was Declan John, was he here as well, or did I make that up as well? I don't know. There was one of
He'll
them.
be part of a quiz in a few years.
Yeah, like we get these left backs and then they never played a game, and I don't see the problem with. I know this. Well, yeah, let's get him back. Has he paid off his bill yet? Let's like we had in the first season. We had Reece James, who was a solid left back, was perfectly fine for the rest of the team. You know, didn't cost us a fortune, and still plays at this level. And yet, like we got rid of him and kept Hume, and I guess we wanted to progress Hume on, but there was nothing wrong with Reece James, and he would have been a solid left back for us throughout the last 2 years as well. Just there's holes all over the team, and it is worrying.
Right, fair dues. Just very quickly, Thane on the chat says why we didn't keep McLaughlin is absolutely baffling. Terry, you're one in there?
Yeah, I mean, I think Luke O'Nine's position is going to be in the midfield. I think he's going to probably start Winchester at right back. And Winchester, to be honest, hasn't looked bad against poor opposition as right back. Whether he looks any better or still looks as good against League One opposition is a different thing. So I'm more worried about left back because, I mean, the young lad from West Brom, Tyrese Dice or someone, I mean, he might be found out in League One, I'm afraid. He looks all right against low opposition, but he doesn't look anywhere good as good as likes of Winchester at right back. So I think left back for me is more worrying.
Yeah, okay. Right. We got 104 people on the stream at the moment. 22 likes. One dislike there. Someone doesn't like us.
Oh, sorry, that was me.
Yes. So if you just hit the like button, we like to try and hit 100 likes if we can on a Thursday. If you are watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat open, just close that and you'll see the thumbs up. Just hit that. It'll take you a second to do so. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free to do that as well. Comment here from Karen Monk, who turns out to be my wife, says season cards not yet apparently, or not out yet apparently, is the club haven't received the cards. So I want to get on to that. I don't know if everybody's getting new season cards this season. I know in the past with mine, it's just you just keep your old one, but I've changed seats this year, so I need a new one anyway. And again, we're just over a week away, no sign of it. Bit of a shambles, do you think from the club? Terry, nobody's received theirs yet. Terry?
I've heard of nobody receiving it whatsoever. So yeah, with a week to go, it's definitely a bit worrying. And also the club shop hasn't reopened yet. There's lots of things seems to be really slow in the uptake with the club at the moment. It's obviously just trying to save as much money as possible to get the club in a good footing. But you would have thought money's not really much of an option with the bloke, but he's a businessman, I suppose. But for me, it's just bad organisation. I mean, some fans have bought the season card ages ago. You would have thought they would have had theirs by now. Yeah.
Well, this is it. I was going to mention the club shop along with that. You're saying there, it's a case of saving money, but, there's the amount of people, the new shirts are out and the amount of people who've wanted to, some people will not buy online, right? And, people would have gone to the shop, spent money in it. And it's baffling that the club shop is not open along with the season cards not going out. Conrad,
I mean,
that situation. Sorry,
even if they're advertised on a Monday, we're going to open Saturday and Sunday, they get floods of people going into the shop, floods of people buying the new kit and buying all sorts of stuff, because it's been closed for that long. People would rush back in to see what's available. They love the shops rather than buying online.
Conrad, what do you think of the whole scenario?
I mean, it just seems like it's a way of saving even more money as well. And another thing as well, I saw the whole ground has gone cashless now, hasn't it, as well, for when you go to the games now, no cash sales on the inside of it, so it'll all be done on your cards as well. Everything is being done to save money now. They'll be able to operate the food stands on less people. They don't have to open the club shop to pay less people. The thing is with online as well, every time you order online, no matter how much you order, they charge you a £5 for delivery, whereas they don't have to do that in the shop, and that £5 goes towards paying half of someone's hourly rate, so they'll get money out of people any way they can at the moment, and seem to be covered. And I get it. Everyone is struggling, over the last year and 18 months on there, and I understand, but it does just seem like Terry says, like, even if they just went, look, the shirt's out this week, we're going to open up for like 4 hours on this day. Come and get your shirt, your printing, and and what have you like that. Just little bits, just to try and, even if it's just entice people back in, just something. Just like, I mean, I know we don't like them, but when Donald and Medvin came in, they changed the seats thing. They bought them and went, look, let's have a day. You can sit with some of the players. You can have a go at it, a bit more like your club. I know we don't like them, but it was just little things just to try and get the fans on side. Whereas it just feels like now it's a case of we're in the mud, and we're not being as transparent as we said we were when all this came in. We're just going to sort of go about our business and just see if we can just crack on it without you complaining too much.
Yeah. Right, just very quickly on the chat as well. Marianne and Carl Taylor, our friends out in Boston, Massachusetts, and we'd like to say welcome. And we hope Marianne is feeling a lot better after last season. Says, I mean, here's another example. I mean, they say, evening, lads. I love the new shirt. Ain't got my size, though. Damn. I mean, the new shirt's just out. How can you not, how can you run out of any of the sizes so early on? It's all a bit of a debacle.
Just a white T-shirt as well with a bit of red this time. It's not even as like Terry's one with the gold trim on it and stuff like that. There, even this one where it's all different sort of stitching. Yours is just it's a white T-shirt.
We'll get onto the. Listen, we'll get onto the. We'll get onto the.
Right, another thing as well, Phil. Alan Walton just put on the chat. The Black Cats bar has gone up from £40 to £54 a ticket.
Right. Well, this is another thing we're gonna hit. I'll let Jacob have his say. Michael's back as well. I'm going to bring Michael in first in case we lose him. All right. Michael, no season cards have been sent out yet. Club shop not open. Bit of a shambles. Do you agree?
Yeah, pretty much. I think what everyone else has touched upon is pretty much bang on the money. I think with the sort of trying any sort of scheme to save as much money as possible, which to some extent is understandable, but is it going to be another case of penny pinching over and over again? I do understand that which is coming out of hopefully coming out of a pandemic, and that the financial implications of that are going to take a while to deal with. But it's just no season ticket. I mean, like I said, I'm taking none of views of. I mean, I haven't got mine yet, and I'm assuming nobody else has either. So I guess just hopefully it comes before the start of the season.
Unless you keep the same one, like I haven't changed seats, but I didn't have one last year. So unless I'm keeping the same card because I'm in my seat still.
Well,
that wouldn't surprise me because that, in theory, would save money for the club.
Thing is, Michael, though, I mean, like you said there, penny pinching and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. I know, I've worked in the bar trade for years, and you have bad managers where they think they're saving money by having fewer bar staff on, when really, more bar staff, you actually take more money by doing that. So it's this case of, you're not saving money, not opening the shop because you don't want to pay people's wages. The fact is you're going to allow more people to buy your product. Jacob, what do you think then? No season tickets, club shop's baffling. I mean, especially the fact that the new strips out. You want to get that out to as many people as you can. So, your thoughts on it, Jacob?
Yeah, very, very surprising with the club shop news. To be honest, I mean, normally at this state, even before the season kicks off, like the busiest time of the year for the club shop. People going in and out. Getting the new strip purchased, and the fact that it's not open, and we've got just over a week until the season kicks off. Very strange on that. And even the season ticket, apparently there was a comment in the chat saying they've run out of cards, apparently. So you don't know what to believe. Honestly, you really don't know what to believe. But let's just hope that they get everything correct when the season kicks off in that home game against Wigan leading up to that date. Because, a lot of things need to be sorted out right now. It's really bad on behalf of the club.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly on the chat. This is, I don't know how we would know about it anyway, but John Forbes says shirt probably cost £5 to make. And then Conrad says 100%. Apparently, John Terry said that in his review of it. So I don't know why.
Do you need glasses? There's clearly a punctuation mark in there.
Oh, sorry, mate.
John Terry, fresh from leaving Aston Villa, is doing kit reviews.
Why is he doing a review on our shirt? Yeah. All right then. So in that case, then, before we do go on about the shirts, because you, Terry, you mentioned about the Black Cats bar, the price of the ticket going up to 54. Rumor has it, I think one of you said in our group chat today. Rumor has it that's going to be £30 for a Wigan ticket. So, or was it Terry who said that? So, I mean, it's rumours, but I mean, if that's the case, I mean, we're a League One club. Terry, where did you hear that? As just social media?
I've heard it mentioned 2 or 3 times in different social media platforms. I don't know if it's true or not. I just what I've been reading, but it feels to me, and it's baffling. I feel like it's trying to alienate the fans for some reason. There's no there's no communication between the club and the fans. It's just like we're sort of just completely being blocked off from the club. That's the way I'm feeling at this moment in time. It's strange. Hope it all changes.
I mean, again, it's not something we can. I mean, it's rumours, so it's all speculation. But if that is the case, if it goes up to £30 a ticket, do you think that's going to drive a lot of people away, Michael?
In 3, 2.
Yeah, I mean, like Terry said, we're in League One for the 4th successive season, and we're coming off the back of a summer transfer window where we don't look very active in the market. And I don't know, I'm kind of feel the same with Terry, to be honest. I'm starting to feel like I'm always going to care about Sunderland, but recently I've been feeling quite disillusioned with the whole club at the moment because, there's only so much bad times that a supporter can be expected to be put through, and it's like, come on, back-to-back relegations, 4 years in League One. I mean, I feel like the club's if the season well, and obviously a lot of people will be drawn to it again. Come on, Sunderland. These supporters have been through a hell of a lot and been through far too many lows. When are we going to start having some proper highs? And when I say highs, when we're in this league, that just our second. I mean, finishing there. Well, I don't think we will. I think we're quite some way off that at the moment. So, as far as you said, make the point relevant to what you asked me with the tickets. Yeah, I think the club are in danger of alien few support, not kill.
Conrad, do you think if you had to go down there then and fork out 30 quid for a League One game, do you think that'll scare a lot of people off?
I certainly wouldn't do it there. I mean, I felt mugged off enough that by Easter I'd secured my season ticket when it was guaranteed almost we were going to win the championship, and then they went on to only win one more game out of the next 11. I felt like you've robbed me of like 300 quid at that point. I mean, someone will have to remind me. It's been a long time since we were in the Premier League, but how much was a ticket for a random game in the Premier League? Not like
I think it was about 27 quid. I think, but I mean, it's been a while back. But I mean, what does it equate to when you buy a season ticket and you work it out?
It's about 19 quid
per game,
something like that. I'll do it.
See, I mean, it's that long since I've actually bought an individual league game ticket. So I was always under the impression, to be honest, that it was always around about that £27.
There were £20 for League One games all last season, the last few seasons.
Right.
20 quid.
Okay.
It's mental though, £10 more. But to think of how many tenors they were getting. I mean, I know obviously they're not making nearly as much, but they were still getting £10 off of each person who was buying a stream for the game, unless everyone worked out how to do what we did, where you could just share it around with like 6 people. But I mean, they were still making something off of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alan Walton here on the chat says he won't pay £55 for a Black Cat's bar when he travels from Huddersfield with his wife. There's £108 before you even start, before he even spends anything, and this it, you know, it's going to scare people off. Do you agree, Jacob? Would you be put off with that sort of increase?
Yeah, very concerning with that front as well. My main worry is with like this lack of ambition that the club are showing right now, and the lack of, I wouldn't say communication with the fans, because sometimes we criticise that even in the Donald and Methven days. I think if results show, then we will get off the owner's back. But at the same time, I worry if we continue to show this lack of, even with, who we're bringing in this summer, there'll be a lack of people going to start with when the club are trying to attract fans to come back at the start of the season. I think what we need right now is just more ambition, and even the pricing is putting people off, and also the lack of transfer activity at the same time.
Right, Conrad?
It was just quickly, I know I did it on my phone there, and I can see Chopper in the comments has as well. £340 for a season ticket over 23 games works out at £14.78 a game.
Right.
And they want off people to pay 30 odd quid.
Right, Terry?
Does anybody know how many season cards have been sold so far this season? Has that even been put in public?
Didn't you do a video on this, Michael?
Doing it. I'm not.
I don't think I did, but I'm pretty sure. I'm sure I heard the figure. I think I heard the figure was something like 21,000. It might be. I think I heard the figure was 21,000, but someone please correct me if I'm wrong, because I very well.
But there was about 12,000 of that were the ones who kept their season tickets through last year, weren't they? There was like, I'm sure there was like 10 to 12,000 who kept throughout the season.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Right, Sam. Well, I mean, I'd expect it to be high, especially with the fact that, we've had over a season that we've not been allowed to go at the game, and I think everybody's itching to get back in there. So, I would expect it to be high sales on that. Just very quickly on the chat there, Marianne and Carl. I'm a 3XL, and this is the first season they haven't done a 3XL. I thought they were, but I think they were doing it without the advertising on the front. But
can we not all have the option to have without the advertising anyway? It's just me that I would actually pay like £5-10 more on a shirt. Maybe not the prices they are now, but if it didn't have the branding on. I don't mind Nike or Adidas or whoever it is, but when they're plastered with like Dafabet.
Yeah. Right, well, quickly on the chat, Thin saying 20,000+. Bradley Young saying 25,000 or something. So it all looks like it's over 20,000, which is again for a League One club, as we know, fantastic fans, great sales. Shame that the club seem to be, if you like, pulling a fast one. I don't like to criticise the club too much, and I do think that. We had this impression that when KLD took over, all this penny pinching sort of stuff was going to stop. I'll get back onto that. But while we're on about the shirts and stuff, home shirt, away shirt, your thoughts on them? Obviously, I know, Terry, you've got the new one as well. Very thin, very. I mean, I do like the style. I like it, but it's very flimsy. The transfer badge is.
I'm not saying this because it's you, Phil, either. It actually looks nicer when it's not being worn, and that was the same in the adverts when they had the models in them. It looks nicer, like when Terry's just holding it up like that. When there's someone in it, it just doesn't seem to work as well as like that fade at the top on Terry's one looks lovely, but on you,
it looks like a T. And I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It looks like a T-shirt, and it's and I mean, I've always avoided when I bought Sunderland attire. when they went to everything used to be an embroidered badge on training gear, t-shirts, everything, and that was great. And then as soon as they started going to the transfer, and I would never buy those sorts of t-shirts and things like that. But fortunately, they kept the embroidered badge onto the strip until last season, and they've done it again this season, and it's very cheap. And I mean, to be honest, I only buy, I buy the shirt because I work in it when I do the wheat sheaf, that sort of so I use it as sort of stage attire, really. So very, very, it's very thin. I quite like the design. The away strip, I sort of like, I think it could have done with a bit more trim on it for me, sort of thing. Conrad, what do you think? Home and away strips?
I mean, they're both very. I like the red and white one, like I say, but it just doesn't look right on. Whereas that fade at the top looks really quite nice.
You want me to just take this off then?
Yeah, if that's all right, mate. It reminds me of the one we had the second year in League One, where it was the 3 red and white, the pillars on it with the white back, and I do like the detail of the massive badge that's sort of on the bottom of it. That's sort of like that, the black dots that Terry was on about, like that being part of the badge, but they're just not what they used to be. The yellow one's nice. It reminds me of that retro one they brought out that from 1990. Yeah,
it's not as nice.
But it's not as nice. Like they were saying this about the England strips as well over summer, that people stopped buying shirts that were like £70 to £100 that were like England authentic, and everyone went and bought the retro ones that they were remaking at like 20 to 30 quid. And like that's what I keep doing now. Every time they release a new retro one for 30 quid, I'm going and buying that because it's nicer made. It looks nicer than these new modern ones, and I don't have to break the bank to do it, just to get one that I quite like.
So Conrad, was the shirt last year £40 or £50? I can't remember.
50,
probably
I think.
55, probably.
50.
When I was young, which
you had no sense. You bought a fruit for £50.
Shirts were like 30 to 40 quid in my memory. You could just get them no matter what. And then now you're like, they're cheaper made. They're cheaper in terms of the feel, and yet they cost 2 to 3 times as much. Like, who's going to buy an England shirt at 90 quid sometimes just because it's an authentic replica England shirt? Like, and it's the same with these. I don't see why. Why is that £50? Surely you'd sell more of them, even if they went, tell you what, we're going to do them £30 this year. Like, they still make a profit on them, surely.
Well, like it was stated, probably costs them £5 to make, wherever they get them done. So, just very quickly before we pass it around again, Bradley Young says, sorry, Brad, I think the away kit is lovely with the yellow and the blue shorts. Chopper SAFC, both the new shirts are rubbish. Thane says he likes the home shirt. Away shirt is okay. Emma Wilson says home shirt, one of the nicest ones we've had for years. Jacob, what do you think, home and away?
The home, I really do like the faded bit at the top. I think also with the back as well, I like how you'll be able to see and also read the names like clearly on the back, even though I think some would argue last season it was a bit tough to read. I think more of a white background on the back, it will be a lot easier, but I think the back for me was more effective last season, the style we went for. But this is the second season that we've had with Nike now, and I think we were last with Nike before we signed the contract last year. I think it was 2004 last time we had them. I think this is like me reviewing a lot of Nike's shirts that they've brought out for other clubs in general this upcoming season. I think Nike have really fallen down the pecking order. And some of their shirts have not been great in terms of the styles they've produced, but I think they have produced it. I really do like the away kit this season. I really do like the yellow look. I think it reminds me of the Bidfest shirt we had in 2014 in that Di Canio Poyet season where we reached the cup final. League Cup final against Man City. But yeah, the home kit, it is a decent a decent home top. It's one of the better ones we've had, I would say. I think Nike have done a decent job of making some differences, but could it have been better? Yes, but I must say I really like the away kit this year. I don't get what a lot of people have in terms of problems with it, but that's just different people.
It's just a bit bland. I like it. I like the yellow and it's just a bit bland, a bit more blue trim involved in it.
Yeah, if there was like
would have
more,
really divined it out. Yeah.
If we stuck with Adidas, I reckon they would have brought out a better style if we'd gone with that same.
Would it look like Sweden if it had been Adidas?
You know, like those Hummel ones with the arrows going up. The thing, if that had been like the yellow one, but with the blue coming down, just like that would have given it that little edge.
Yeah. Nike shirts are really plain now for me.
Right, fair enough. We'll throw it to Michael, but while he's waiting for us to come through because he's got a bit of a delay, Ben Dawson says, Michael Bowers, get that picture of Newcastle.
Yeah. Okay, then.
Go on, Michael. Home away shirt.
Yeah,
I've only just.
I was waiting for someone to say something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As for the shirts, I'm more bothered. I'm usually more bothered about how the team does in the shirt rather than the actual shirt themselves. If you're looking at the shirts, I think that one is really, really nice. I think it's grown on me a little bit. I've said it countless times. Yeah, I would be. Last year's home kit, I actually thought was really nice. But that's because I like the sort of the top of the shirt where it's got like one color, where it's got red around the collar and then red over the shoulders and the sleeves themselves. The shirt we've got this season, I think the home one's really, really good. The intro that the club did for it was really good, actually. That's one thing I can give them praise for. The away shirt, like Jacob said, it reminds me of the 13-14 season, which you could argue was the last time we did anything that was kind of memorable. So for the right reasons. So maybe that's symbolic this season. Who knows? As for the away shirt itself, it's all. I think with a bit more blue line, I think it would have actually looked really good. I think it's all right. I kind of like it, but I do think there's kits. If I had to buy, there'll be a good few other away kits I'd pick over this one.
Right, okay. Before we throw it to you, Terry, Stephen Hensel, friend of the show, says, can't wait for Friday. Nice pint of Samson in the ground. Nice to see the local brewery company coming in. Terry, the strips, home and away, your views on them?
Well, personally, I do like the design, but I have got a T-shirt in me drawers, exactly the same sort of material, the same thickness, and I got it from £5 from Start Fitness. It's the same material because it's uncomfortable to wear on the skin. It is a very light material. Even if you go back to last season's shirt, it's thicker than this season's shirt. It's even got a nice collar on last season's shirt. This shirt is just a T-shirt. That's all it is. It's a T-shirt with Sunderland branding on. And for me, £50 is an absolute rip-off. An absolute rip-off. But the design's nice. This thing on the front's horrible. Get rid of it completely. Like someone else said on there, I'd rather just have a normal shirt with the Nike on, the Sunderland badge on, get done with the sponsor. It's awful. But all this is just a basic T-shirt. It'd be neat good in the winter. Bloody freezing. Weird shirt.
Put your
weird shirt. I wouldn't mind if this is exactly what the players wear, but I bet the players don't wear something as thin as this because it'd be ripped off the back straight away. As soon as someone gets hold of them, it'd be ripped off the backs. So I'd be surprised if the players' shirts are not a lot thicker than this. I want an original player's shirt. I don't want some cheap knockoff for £5. But end of the day,
not if you're paying the same £50 for them.
Exactly. It's I've got one. It is what it is. I'll wear it because and I love the club. And I do love the design as well. The design's very nice. It looks better on me than Philly, but that's just my personal opinion.
Well, what you'll have to do, Terry, if you're going to be cold in the winter, you'll have to see if Jacob will send up his Motti coat for you, and then you can wear the old sheepskin there. Just very quickly, we've got to give a shout out to Ben Dawson and say a big thank you, who's joined as a member. It's $1.99 a month to do that. That's a way of supporting the channel. All the money goes to help us create better content. You can do it that way. Don't forget, of course, so the super chat is still available if you want to do a one-off donation to us as well. All the funds do help us grow the channel. Obviously, the bigger we get, the better content we can bring to you. And don't forget, hit the like button. It'll take you a second to do that. 57 likes at the moment, 154 people on the live chat. Right, just very quickly then. We was on about penny pinching and stuff like that. And we did say towards the end of last season, and when KLD came in, we said at least we don't have to worry about funds and asset stripping and all this malarkey. Do you think now, KLD was Stuart Donald's choice? How he could have sold to other people, and he was the one. And so do you think there's a little bit of Donald rubbing off on him, or do you think?
Can you rephrase that sentence?
Yeah. Well, do you think KLD may be turning out to be in the Donald-esque camp, Conrad?
I'd like to think not. I could very easily see that, Donald would, because we already know that from, what was he called? Story saying several times he had the highest bid and what have you, but it wasn't about the money for Donald, not yet anyway. He always seemed to be, as Terry and others have, to make sure he retained a section within the club, so that then when we, ideally go on to... Well, I've frozen and I'm back now.
Conrad, are you in Michael's house? Are you upstairs in Michael's house?
Watch this. My hand's going to go this way and it's going to come out and slap Michael.
Yeah. Come on, Michael. Come on.
Yeah, it was just, I think he always wanted to retain a section of his money in it, Donald. That's why he took less money necessarily to sell shares, just so that he could retain a section within the club. So maybe there is something in that he thinks I can still influence it here and still, lead it the way I want, but I'm hoping not.
All right, possibly. Just very quickly, a shout out to Colin Major, who's become a member for the old 199. If you want to do that, you just hit the join button and it explains how you do that. You will get your little members badge on there, access to emojis, and you will get access to members only material, which will be coming your way very soon. Terry, KLD, Donald-esque, what do you think?
First of all, I want to say, if you're enjoying the live stream, please give us a thumbs up. 64 thumbs up and 0 thumbs down. I've changed it to a like, so there we go. 64 likes, no thumbs down. But I would hate to think that he's anywhere near as bad as Donald. I mean, come on. Why would he want to buy the club? Why would he want to invest allegedly all this money in the club to get these shares? Because I don't know, to have Donald still pulling the strings, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But nothing surprises me with Sunderland at this moment in time. Over the seasons have gone by, So like I say, I like to say, I hope KLD is just building the club from the foundations, finding his footing, taking his time, getting everything in a good level footing, and then he's going to invest some money after Donald and Metfin pisses off.
Right. Sorry for Terry's French. Quick shout out to the Black Cat podcast. Hi to you lot. Thanks once again for joining. So Carl and the gang down there, thank you very much. It is much appreciated and will help the channel out. Yeah, Terry, I don't think necessarily Donald's pulling the strings. I'm just wondering if, why Donald wanted him and was sort of blocking others. Michael, what do you think? Do you think there's a little bit of Stuart Donald in? Again, I'll rephrase this. A little bit of, Stuart Donald.
It feels...
Go on.
It kind of feels like it. It kind of feels a bit like it, doesn't it? I do get to an extent why we're not splashing the money, because obviously we don't want to. That's like we said before, the whole Ellis Short, where up until the last couple of seasons it did look like he cared, but the one was that we were splashing money so much and wasting money that we could very easily have gone into administration. I still do believe that. But at the same time, we seem to have gone from one extreme to the other. We seem to have gone from splashing a load of money, even albeit not on very good players or very good aspects of the club. Then now we've gone too far the other way, where it looks like we're trying to be penny pinching everything. Now, I do get to an extent you don't want to be, caught napping with what you're spending, but you got to have a balance on. If there's an opportunity, for example, with a really good player, like I think it's Gabriel, for example, the right back at Nottingham Forest, who was at Blackpool last year, just as an example off the top of my head. Forest apparently have, we'll say, 600,000-700,000. I'm hoping Sunderland aren't wasting time going with a £200,000-300,000 bid. You might want to test the waters to lower it a little bit, but you don't want to lower it so much to the point where negotiations are completely off the table, or you're not going to get anywhere. Because either you're going to annoy the club that you're trying to negotiate with, or you're going to end up wasting valuable time to then potentially not even have the player. So it's a balancing act for me. Whether KLD is influenced by Donald or there's elements of Donald within him, I don't know. I suppose I echo the same as CONRAD. Hopefully not the case, but like Terry said, nothing surprises us Sunderland anymore, unfortunately.
Right, fair enough. Thanks, Michael. Jacob, it's a bit of Stuart Donald in KLD, do you think? Or do you think he's just biding his time?
It's way too early to tell. Way too early. I think the damage is already done. With Stuart Donald and Charlie Methven, there's enough proof in the pudding of how badly their tenure at Sunderland turned out to be. But listen, KLD's only been here a few months, I think. Let's just see how the club progresses in the next couple for us to properly start judging him on how well he's doing in his role. Obviously, we don't know too much of what's going on behind the scenes at the moment. I mean, the difference was we did know more when Donald and Methven were there, but at the same time, it didn't produce results, and it's about producing results when you run a football club, and only time will tell.
Right, I agree. I mean, it's we did get slated in the week for sort of, if you like, defending KLD, but it'd be very unfair on us to to be that harsh on us. It's worrying that we're a week away from the season, and like I said, we don't even have any fullbacks. It's all the managers like to get the business done early so they can gel in with the rest of the teammates and not be doing it all last minute. Right, okay. What I want to touch on, I'll tell you what we'll do. It's mentioned on social media this way, I've seen it. Victor Anchoby and
Victor Anchoby.
Anchoby.
Victor Anchovies.
Victor Anchovies. All right.
Anchoby.
That bloke who was at the match at Tranmere.
Anchoby.
People
if you really want to, Anichebe, but Anichebe.
People have started spreading rumours that him and Cisse.
You got that one right. Well done.
Could be. I can manage that. It's like Massachusetts. But him and Cisse looking to make a return. Do a pie in the sky, or would you actually, if there was any truth in it, Michael, would you have them back?
I don't know. For me, realistically, I think it's a bit of PR by the club try and keep fans off their backs a little bit. I'd be very, very amazed if there's something actually in that. If there is something in that, then hey, if they're willing to come for a decent wage, I suppose why not? But yeah, come on. For me, it's a bit of PR from the club. It's just a bit of PR to keep people off their backs for a bit. I don't think there's much concrete in that.
Right. Okay. Quick one, Jacob. Would you have them back?
Nah, not for. It needs to be. I mean, he's hardly played much in the last year or so. He hasn't played much. Looking at his thing now since 2017. So I thought he was at a club last season, getting confused with someone else. I think like Michael said, I think you could look at that and say it's a PR stunt from the club to get fans more excited and clicking on the post. That I think it was just Bailey Wright having a casual conversation with him. Was it Bailey Wright in the photo? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're looking too much into it. I think we need to look elsewhere. But, yeah, not for me. No.
Right, just very quickly before I pass it around again, Robert Foster says there's no way KLD will allow Donald to have any influence. He belongs to one of the richest families in Europe, and just because he's a billionaire doesn't mean the club shouldn't be well run. Thane also says Anichebe is from Merseyside, so it's pretty much a home game for him, which is why he was there. Bradley Young seeing Bailey Wright wave bye to the players on Tuesday. Is he going to Wigan? Conrad, what do you reckon? Cisse and Anichebe, would you take them?
If we could get them both on pay-as-you-play deals instead of having to pay them all the time, because Anichebe could only play about 4 games before he was injured again. But to watch him just knocking centre-backs over for fun would just be so much fun again to watch. And just to get that Cisse chant coming back again would be amazing. But the best thing about if we did get them would be watching them watch on from the bench as we still try to get Will Grigg to score a goal for us when he's in the first team over them. Amazing scenes.
Right, Terry, and you've been getting your board out, so I'm quite. I love it when Terry gets his board out.
I was just going to say, can you buy one get one free?
Maybe.
Anyone? I don't know.
I wouldn't have them back personally.
Right.
Not even for the Cisse chant, just to hear it one more time.
Wow, great chant.
If he promises to come on the show and do an interview with the lads, then I.
Yeah. We'll ask Carlos Edwards if he can make it happen.
Right then. I'll tell you what we got. 8 minutes left. 85 likes. So we're just 15 short of the 100 we were like. If you just hit the thumbs up, it'll take you. Thank you very much, Terry. There you go. Please like the live stream. And that will get us up to 100. If 15 of you just quickly hit that thumbs up, it will take you a second to do so. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, and that will take you just a minute. Before we come on to the Hull game tomorrow, I quickly would like to throw it in there. Double jabbed to get into football games. Yes or no? Conrad?
I don't really have any strong opinions on it, but I'm not double jabbed yet. I was meant to be as of the couple of days before the Wigan game. But having COVID, I have to now wait another 4 weeks till it's gone. So I wouldn't be double jabbed until September now. So I'd then have to miss 3 games based on this rule. And am I going to get the money back for those games?
Well, no, I think I would imagine if they did it, it's going to be... is it the end of September? They're saying that they expect everybody to be... so it wouldn't come in before that. Like
if I mean, I'm not for people being forced to do things they don't want to do, but in an ideal world, everyone would be jabbed and vaccinated so that we could get back to normal, much sooner than
right, different people. A lot of people saying yes on the chat. Terry, double jab to get in. Do you think that's? Do you think...
So long as it's not on the chin, I don't mind.
In the stomach, then there you go.
I like my teeth the way they are. The ones I've got left. The ones at the back, I'll drop in a bit.
Right, Jacob. How do you feel about it? Double jab to get into football. You're part of the younger generation on this on our channel. Have you had the vaccine, and are you planning to have it? Or
I had my first dose. I've got my second one, I think the 31st of August. But with the Pfizer, apparently you can get it earlier than planned. So I think a lot of people, particularly my age group, are trying to get that done, because I think September onwards you have to prove that you've been double vaccinated before getting into any sporting venue. I think that's what it might be, just football. I don't know. They might try and
over 20,000 crowd, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Something to do with that. So it's it'll be interesting to see what the club has in place in terms of rules and regulations to do with that. But the way how things are going, you probably suspect that they'll muck that up as well, to be honest. I mean, there'll be a lot of people turning up to that Wigan game who, you never know, might not have even had their first dose. So
I mean, everything's gone so smoothly with the government since the first lockdown. I mean, we can't help but trust them now.
Behave yourself. Michael, your view on it, double jab to get into football grounds, good thing, a bad thing, or your thoughts on it?
Well, for me personally, double jab. So for me, this doesn't really make a difference one way or another. But I'm kind of CONRAD. I don't have a strong opinion on it one way or the other. I think the reason, maybe this is me being a conspiracy theorist here, but I would think that the reason that the government, I think it's allegedly that the deadline is in September, back in September, is because they expect nearly everybody to be double jabbed by then. Unless people, obviously there'll be people who really don't want the vaccine. I don't know. I don't have any one or the other. I can see both sides of the argument.
Right, fair dues. Just very quickly with me, with it. Well, Emma Wilson says here, don't matter because you can still pass it on and catch it if double jabbed. But I think the point is, it's keeping people out of hospital, or you get it and you have a milder dose. And again, I would never ever want to force anyone to have it.
Theoretically, it's a lot less likely if you've been double jabbed.
Yeah, but the people I see, the younger people who I've spoken to recently, who are refusing to have it, for me, don't have a good enough reason. It doesn't sell it to me when they say, 99.9% people, it doesn't affect or survive from it and all this, that, and the other. And they spout this off. And then the minute you say, right, well, you may need to be double jabbed to go on holiday or go in a nightclub, they then turn around and say, well, if I need to go on holiday, then I'll have it. My argument is if you're so strongly against having this vaccination, then regardless of whether you can go on holiday or not, you just wouldn't have it. And I think the only reason we are now out of lockdown is because of the vaccine. But again, if somebody feels strongly enough not to have it, that's your prerogative. That's fair enough. But I think the sooner, people, the majority of people get this done, then the better we can all move.
But also, Phil, you got to remember young people and everybody as well. Everyone's allowed to change their mind.
Absolutely.
Everyone has different reasons and different motivations for doing things. So if the motivation's being able to go to a football match, then yes, they might want to do it straight away, because that might be the thing they enjoy the most in life.
What I'm trying to say is people who, if you've got you've got a genuine reason for not wanting it, that's fine. I've just found that most of when anybody says they don't want it, and I say, just out of curiosity, what are your reasons why? They tend to be a bit of a weak reason. Jacob, quickly, and then we'll quickly look at Hull. Go on.
Well, you have to remember also there's a friend of mine who's a big Sunderland fan. He's immune to even getting it because of health conditions, which I feel sorry for him if that rule comes into place where you have to have it for getting into games next season. So you have to take into account that obviously some people will have certain health conditions which will stop them.
Yeah, but I'm to be honest, Jacob, I think in that scenario, I think there'll be sort of exemptions. If somebody can't actually have the vaccine, I would imagine there will be exemptions for that. All right, just very quickly, let's move on to tomorrow then.
So.
Back at the Stadium of Light. I won't be going myself. I'm going to be at work. However, we are going to try and do a stream on this show. So if you can't go, we're going to try and do a live stream. I think I may be the only one available to do that. So I do apologise for the quality of the commentary before we do that. But the Mad Mistake will be doing his superb commentary on his channel anyway. So you can always flick between the two. Hull City tomorrow then. Two questions then. One, should Lee Johnson be playing his team tomorrow, which is going to be more or less his starting 11 against Wigan? and a score prediction from you. Michael, do you want to jump in there first? In 3, 2, 1.
I think I would like to think that we have some. I'd like to, obviously, in terms of fullbacks and defence, no clue what it's going to be again, depending if there's any sign. In terms of going forward, I'd like to see us have an idea of what the team's going to be. So yes, I agree with that. And score prediction, I never take much notice of friendlies, but I'm going to say 3-2 Sunderland. I think there's going to be. Actually, no, it's no score. I'm going to say 3-1 Sunderland. We've looked fairly solid defensively. Yes, okay. We've played Harrogate, we've played Tranmere, and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. It would just be typical Sunderland for us to get a little bit of hope off beating the Championship team, but then not deliver when it matters.
Right, fair dues. Different score predictions coming in. Thane says 1-0 to Sunderland. The Black Cat Podcast says 3-0 to Sunderland. Bradley Young says 2-1 Sunderland. Jacob, do you think he should be playing ECC? Is 11 that are due to start against Wigan tomorrow? You'd think so. I think we'd get a clear indication of what system he's going to go with tomorrow night against Hull City. But then again, there could be like fitness issues going into the Wigan game. Things could change, and then again, we could have some key performers who potentially might not even start coming off the bench, and then he'll change his mind again. But yeah, I think once it's all about a fitness test tomorrow. Listen, we're against the team who are in a higher division now. Playing at a higher level, so we've got to prove the best we can going into that game and hopefully come out with a positive result. But all eyes are on that Wigan game now. But hopefully we'd end pre-season with all smiles on our face. But I think it'll be a tough game. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw. More predictions coming in here then. Isaac Green says 1-0 to Sunderland. Norman Logan says 1-1. Ben Dawson 0-0 ball draw. John Forbes 2-2. David Walker 2-2. Terry, tomorrow, what do you think? Should we be playing that team? What's going to start against Wigan?
Well, I was going to write my team down that he will start tomorrow, but I do think he'll keep Burge in goal. I will. I think even though Patterson has every right probably to start, but I think keep Burge in goal. I've got a feeling he's going to play Dan Neil at left back because he did a good job the other day against Harrogate. Winchester is right back, and Flanagan and Doyle as the two centre backs, and you got like Evans and 09 as the two holding midfielders, and obviously 4-2-3-1. You're going to have McGeady, you're going to have Embleton, and possibly Diamond with legs of Stewart up front. Have I missed somebody out? Not quite sure, but that's just a rush one anyway. But I think he'll play the 4-2-3-1. I think he'll start, like I say, Dan Neil left back. He's got no other choice. There's no other left backs at the club. Yeah. Prediction? A lot of Hull fans say it's going to be a cricket score. Really? I've got a Hull mate who says they're going to absolutely stuff us. They're going to absolutely stuff us. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Sunderland win. Hopefully shut them up. Right, okay. Conrad, team selection, should he be going for that? Or looking what we're going to start against Wigan, and a prediction from you?
Yeah, you probably should at this time now. It's time to start thinking about it now. I can't say I've seen a lot of us play throughout pre-season because a bit like Michael said earlier on in the show, it was becoming disillusioned with Sunderland. So I haven't watched them yet. So I'm saving my first watch of them for when I'm at the ground for the Wigan game, just to sort of see them for the first time since we got an epic 1-1 draw with Fleetwood. I'm going to copy Mick Griffiths' one because he says you didn't read his out. So I'm going to go 1-1 with Mick Griffiths in the chat there. All right, then. Sorry, I'll come to you just now, Terry. I just want to go back and say more predictions here. Mick Griffiths says 1-1 on there as well. There you go. Mick Griffiths has been read out twice for you. I hope that compensates for us missing you. Sorry about that. Terry? The only reason why I missed Gooch out was because I wasn't quite sure whether Gooch was fit enough to play tomorrow night with his hamstring problem. But Bradley, though, if Gooch plays, the referee has to try and get the ball off him, which no one's been able to do for about 3 seasons. Banter. Right. Well, just very quickly for me, I mean, I think he should be looking to play as near a team as he is against Wigan. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland win, which then doesn't give us a
bad pre-season really, because we'll be unbeaten, and I know you can't read too much into.
We'll be unbeaten until the Wigan game.
Well, who knows? Well, Charlie White hat trick and all that.
Yeah.
That's
3 match power assists as he turns into Iniesta.
But we'll see. Right, listen. Thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget, you can get full commentary of tomorrow night's game if you're not going to the ground on the Mad Mistakes channel. Terry will be doing his own unique style of commentary with singing all sorts of songs in there as well. Yes, Terry.
Well, they could join you, and after 20 minutes, when you're knackered, they could join me after that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm going to try and see if we can do some commentary on here.
I'm sure Karen will give you a hand.
Well, we'll have none of that, Terry, if you don't mind. So we're going to do that. So tune in to either, if you would. I'll try my best. I'll just be getting players mixed up, especially with being new players as well. But other than that, if you can handle that, then it shouldn't be too bad. So thanks very much for joining us. So we will be back tomorrow night to give you some commentary on the whole game, and back again on Sunday for the Sunday Bunch. So once again, thank you very much from myself, Wee Philly, from CONRAD Lee, is a weird good man, from the Mad Mistake. From Michael Bowers in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I thought you were doing that on purpose to be like.
And from Jacob down south. Cheers, mate. Don't forget, please. We've got 105 likes. Like, subscribe, and if you want to become a member, do that as well, please. It's all much appreciated. And we will see you. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night for the whole game. Thank you very much. See you. Bye-bye.